Hello everyone, welcome to another video. My name is Alva, I'm a teacher and a learner at the same time, and today I wanted to talk about something that every English learner dreams of. We could say it's the ultimate goal for anyone learning English: fluency. Everyone wants it, but how do you actually reach it? Many people have shared their experiences here on YouTube, and I always find their stories super inspiring. So I decided to do something similar. I want to talk about my experience, what helped me reach fluency in English, hoping it can inspire you as well. You have asked a lot of questions about where I come from, and guys, it's a little complicated. I was born in Russia, but my background is Circassian. You've probably never heard of this ethnicity, so I'm not going to go into details here. I'll just say that I grew up speaking Russian and Circassian. Then I moved to Turkey and learned Turkish as well. As for English, even though I studied it at school and university and I have lived abroad, I have never lived in an English-speaking country. So I had to work really hard to create opportunities for myself to practice English and reach my current level. And here's exactly what I did. One of the biggest things that helped me was making English part of my everyday life. Instead of only focusing on grammar and learning vocabulary words, I try to incorporate English into everything I do. For example, whenever I cook something, let's say I'm trying a new recipe, I look it up in English. I search for it on YouTube, watch a video, paying attention to words for ingredients, cooking tools, actions, or if I'm exercising. I love working out. I do it almost every day. I don't search for workouts in my native language. I only follow English-speaking trainers online. I have my favorite girls here on YouTube, and you're sort of killing two birds with one stone here. You are exercising and you're practicing your listening as well. I can't tell you guys how much vocabulary I've learned from these workout videos. Words for body parts like hamstrings, pelvis, calves, or verbs like kneel, bend, lean forward, and so on. Next, even small tasks like making a grocery list, writing notes, scheduling appointments, I do it all in English. I also switched all my devices and app settings to English. I'm pretty sure you've done it already because that's the first thing you do when you start learning a language, right? And whenever I have a question, I Google it in English because we all do it anyway. With unlimited access to the internet nowadays, we look up a lot of information online. So why not do it in English? For instance, I recently bought this cute little plant. It's a ficus, and I needed to repot it. Since I don't have much experience with houseplants, I decided to find a video on YouTube how to repot a plant. I could have done it in my native language, but instead, I chose to do it in English. Little habits like this add up over time and give you constant exposure, which trains your brain to think in English automatically. Another habit that helped me was, surprise, surprise, watching TV shows and movies in English. Of course, nothing groundbreaking here, but here's the thing. I hardly ever watch anything in my native language anymore. Whether it's a TV show, a movie, a book I'm reading, it has to be in English. And it's funny, sometimes my family makes fun of me or even gets a bit annoyed because they want to watch something in Russian, but I don't have the luxury to do that. Since I don't live in an English-speaking country and there's no natural exposure to the language, I need to create this English-speaking environment myself. Regarding the genre, I would normally opt for comfortable shows like Friends, The Big Bang Theory, The Office, How I Met Your Mother, the classics, right? They're fun, easy to understand, and they don't make you feel overwhelmed. However, at some point, I felt like it wasn't enough. I wanted to expand my vocabulary even more. So I started watching a legal drama. I think it was called Suits. It's very famous. And wow, there were so many words I didn't even know in my native language, let alone English. Later on, I watched Dr. House, which was packed with medical terms. And yes, it was a little hard at first, but I learned so much about diseases, the human body, medical procedures. Sometimes I even think I know more medical vocabulary in English than in my native language. A few tips I learned along the way. Be careful with the level of difficulty. If you're not advanced, don't pick shows that are too hard to understand. It'll be frustrating. Instead, choose content slightly out of your comfort zone. Just enough new vocabulary to challenge you, but not so much that it overwhelms you. And third, try mixing genres. Comedy, drama, legal, medical, business. This kind of variety helps you pick up vocabulary in all sorts of contexts. Watching shows in English isn't just about passive learning. You pick up slang, idioms, and expressions that you rarely see in textbooks, and your brain gets used to natural speech patterns. Another major factor in my fluency was actively using English in daily activities. I made it a habit to speak to myself, narrating what I'm doing, imagining I'm telling a story, and commenting on every little detail. Of course, I normally do it when there's no one around because it might look a little creepy and weird that I'm talking to myself. For example, while I'm making an omelette, I describe my actions in English. I crack 2 eggs into a ball, sprinkle a little bit of salt, pour in some milk, and then mix it all together with a whisk. After that, I turn on the stove, put the pan on it, add a little bit of oil, and so on. Or I love telling stories to myself while, let's say, I'm doing my makeup. So I'm in front of the mirror, applying my mascara and narrating what happened this morning. I was sleeping and all of a sudden I got a phone call from a delivery guy. He couldn't find my address, so I had to get out of bed, go outside and look for him while still in my pajamas, yada yada yada. I absolutely love this method. It really activates your brain, and if you stumble or forget something, you can just start over. It's an amazing way to practice speaking. Over time, these small but consistent practices train your brain to think in English automatically, so you don't have to translate in your head anymore. Next, this might actually surprise you a little bit. Teaching English was another turning point for me. After I graduated, I moved abroad and started looking for a job. There was a company in China, a language school, that was hiring non-native English teachers, which was exactly what I was looking for. Later, I also worked for another school somewhere in Asia. And at first, I was only teaching kids and beginner students, which was very comfortable. But then I started working with group classes and intermediate and advanced students who were asking a lot of tricky grammar and vocabulary questions. So I had to research some grammar topics I had forgotten, which forced me to better understand the material myself. Advice for you: find somebody you can teach English to. A sibling, a friend, a relative, doesn't matter. When you explain something to others, it helps you understand it better, and I believe it's one of the fastest ways to improve your fluency. Next, I want to talk about how I learn new words. Well, I've always been an auditory learner. I listen to tons of podcasts, YouTube videos, and I pick up new expressions and words this way. For memorizing vocabulary, I tried flashcards, and I know that a lot of learners find them super useful. Honestly, I didn't, but that's just my experience. What I do, I simply keep a running list of words and expressions, and I go back to this list every now and then to see if I remember the words. And if I don't, I look them up again, make example sentences. Multiple encounters are important to move words into long-term memory. And there is something that I want to confess. I am not particularly fond of writing. To put it mildly, I do not enjoy writing or typing, neither in my native language nor in English. For example, if I'm replying to a friend on WhatsApp, it is so much easier for me to press that record button and record my voice instead of typing a long message. I guess I'm just not very patient, but I know writing is important, so I'm trying to work on it. I journal in English. Not as often as I should, but I'm gradually building this habit. And I do believe small, consistent steps make a huge difference over time. So I'm not giving up on writing. All right, that's my journey to English fluency. I hope my story inspires you. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment below. What is one habit you can start today to improve your English? Remember, fluency isn't magic. It's daily effort, consistency, and curiosity. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.